this is Jamie Magritte. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. So let's get started. It's only using Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set. Paper. I have a 2 1/8 by 1 7/8 inch piece of white, a 2 3/8 by 2 inch piece of Pool Party, a 3 by 4 1/4 inch piece of white, a 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch piece of Night of Navy, and a thick card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored and folded at 4 1/4. I'm going to be using Pool Party, Pacific Point, Balmy Blue, Parakeet Party, and Basic Gray. But you can use any colors you want for this. I just was playing with the blue inks. I was just playing, so let's get started here. I'm going to start with this stamp here and the Pacific Point ink. I think it's that stamp. Nope, it's this one. And the Pacific Point ink. This is a little bit dark, but it's alright. So I'm going to stamp it. And then I'm just going to move and stamp a couple more times. There's no right or wrong, really. Let's move this so it doesn't get soiled. One more over here. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with Balmy Blue. And this one. And we're just going to do the same thing. Fill in some of those spaces. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with Parakeet Party. And I put the two little ones on the same block. I'm just going to and again, this would be pretty with any colors. Okay, so I just stamped the background. Now I'm going to bring in Basic Gray. Close this one before I end up with ink all over. And I'm going to bring in this stamp. I'm going to stamp this right in the center. And then I'm just going to repeat stamp this around the edges. Turning it so it's a little bit different orientation each time. One more over here. And that looks good. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in this one, the 2 1/2 by 1 7/8 one. I'm going to bring in the sentiment and the gray ink, and I'm going to stamp that right in the center. Okay, now I'm going to bring in this starfish one. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over first, so it's upside down. And I'm going to bring in the Pool Party. going to stamp that once here. Stamp it once here. Stamp it once over here. And clean it off. Turn it over. I'm using the same ink. I'm going to stamp right on top of that. And I might have used balmy blue for my original, but I thought I used the pool party. Okay. Alright, now we can put this card together. This piece here is going to go on the 3 1/4 by 4.5 inch piece. I'm just going to use wet glue for that. There's going to be an 1/8 of an inch border because it's a 1/4 inch difference. Let me put the glue there. Okay. And this is going to get mounted right directly to the front of the card, right in the center. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I used Night of Navy ink on this one instead of the gray. Okay, let's mount this one to this one. And this one's just a tiny little border because it's just a 1/16 inch difference. Put some dimensionals on the back of it. Let's set it down here. Okay, then I'm going to bring in the glossy dots. Put those glossy dots on there, dresses it all up. There you go. There's the card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. And I think this is balmy blue instead of pool party. But there you go. Well, thank you for joining me today at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.